Servus, Männer, it's Red Pill Germany again. Today I have to talk about something that could actually be very funny. It could be seen as hilarious satire. Yeah, if it weren't so sad actually and so infuriating. That is, of course, only if you are a German or if you have some sympathy for Germany or if you want to see Germany do well. Yeah, what I'm talking about is, of course, Angela Merkel's new effort to save the German economy and the German industry. Yes, that is what she says. So there was an announcement. She had a video message in which she announced to the public that, early next week or on the weekend now already, there is a summit in the German government, and the goal, as I stated, is nothing less but to save the German economy. And what is the biggest threat for the German economy? No, of course, it's not insane environmental legislation. It's not an overburdening bureaucracy that is working only slowly. And the only thing they actually do fast is introduce more and more laws and more red tape and regulations for entrepreneurs and the industry. It is also not just the illegal ban, the overnight sudden ban of very good and sound industries and technologies. No, that is of course not a threat to the German economy. Also that the price levels are so low that our best and brightest are going to Switzerland, the US or to Canada. No, that is also not the problem. The problem is of course that we don't have enough cheap people who work in or people who work for very low salaries in the care industries. So caring for sick people and for the elderly. That is, of course, first and foremost threatening the German economy. I mean, don't get me wrong, care is an important industry. It is a very noble act, and it requires a lot of specialization, lots of education, and also you need to have a certain calling for it, I guess. Not everyone can do that, especially caring for sick people and very old people. I have a lot of respect for these workers who do that, obviously. But one thing has to be said very clearly. Our economy, our industry does not hinge upon that. Germany's industry will not collapse if we don't have enough care workers. So I really didn't get the headline of the article or what Angela Merkel claims this summit is about, and then what she actually does. That is, I mean, how senile or how do you have to be, or how low does your IQ have to be that you don't really see that? First, she says we want to save the German economy, and then she says we need more care workers in hospitals and retirement homes. How does that even make sense? That is like you take the beginning of one article and the ending of another article and you glue them together in the middle. That doesn't make any sense to me. All right. And then, of course, they said that they have concrete plans already, of course. So they want to go to India, Brazil, and Vietnam, I think, and find people there. And I'm trying to translate at least as close as I can. Try to find people there who want to live in and work in Germany. So she basically says, now that we destroyed these systems in Germany so far that not many people want to work under these conditions, we just find some poor Indian guys who can do the job then. And I wonder, why is it that our hospitals have problems to do their job in an adequate way? It has a lot to do with privatization, obviously. It It has a lot to do with too much money going to greedy corporations instead of just letting the people do their job. Um, there is a lot of corruption also involved, obviously, but it also has something to do, and that is always, people don't talk about that. People avoid this topic. Millions of people are now in Germany that receive care, but they never paid just a single cent into our systems. They never paid any money into the retirement system. They never paid any money into the healthcare system. But millions of people now get care. And of course, this is noticeable in some way. And she just tries to solve the problem by recruiting more foreigners to come and live in Germany. Of course, these are a different kind of immigrants. They are actual work immigrants. They are actual trained people with some kind of an education, with a vocational background that we need here, that is different than the migration that we got in recent years. But it is also not the first time that this was attempted. I mean, I think from South Korea in the 70s they recruited nurses, for example, and then Gerhard Schröder in the 90s, he had this idea with this green card where Indian IT, what a ridiculous and cliche joke this is. Yeah, Indian IT specialists would come and get the German green card. What a joke. Nobody came, of course. Yeah. So Germany just has to educate and to train their own youth in a efficient and in a comprehensive way, and then these problems will all be solved. We have enough people. The industry is always saying that we have a shortage of qualified workers and we need migration. All this is nonsense. It's not true. The industry just wants 20 people to apply for one job, and many of these jobs, are not actually real jobs, but they are maybe they will fill the positions internally, or they're just writing these job ads for publicity. But many people who are working in the industry, they know that. These jobs that are listed online, for example, not behind every ad is an actual job that is to be filled. And the industry is already complaining when they don't have 20 or 30 people who are meeting the objective requirements for one and the same job. They really want to be in this comfortable position where you can have lower and lower wages every year, every decade, because so many people apply for one and the same job. This is the position the industry wants to be in, and of course we can see in the UK or in the United States what that does to the labor market, even for highly qualified and specialized skills and workers. You see that in IT in the US, for example. You get a radical deflation of wages, and that is done with the aid of foreign workers, of immigrants. Yeah. And as someone who works in the industry and who has contacts across many different branches and many different industries, I can tell you, to come back to the initial point of the video and of the article and of the name of that stupid summit in Merkel's government now, the German industry does not have really a problem with a shortage of skilled workers. In some select fields that might be the case, but overall our jobs are being lost, and our the roots of our wealth, the sources of our wealth are being destroyed at the moment without any real reason. It is just ideology. The ideology of our politicians is driving the destruction of our healthy native industries. And this is what's going on at the moment. And there is really absolutely no reason to think that it has anything to do with a shortage of skilled engineers or workers or what have you. This is all a lie. the industry or big business, together with our socialist government, they want to depress the wages of the working class even further. And by working class, I also mean engineers. Yeah, I also mean scientists, people who work. Yeah, who have salaries, who need those salaries, who didn't inherit a lot maybe, but people who need to go to work. Yeah, and the industry wants to pay less, obviously, and I think they want to do in Germany because, remember, it's a globalist cookbook, it's a globalist game plan. Um, they want to introduce the same techniques, the same strategies of wielding power, of ruling over the people, that is multiculturalism and globalism, as they do in the UK and the United States and in all those countries. They want a mixed population with no solidarity and no strong family ties, with no strong communities, no civil society, like they always like to say, right? But they want atomized groups that are at each other's throat, and they want to depress the wages. They want a weak and disorganized, amorphous labor force that can be moved from place A to place B, from industry A, maybe I should use different letters, from industry Z to industry D, with a little bit of training and maybe on their own cost even, because you need to stay flexible in today's labor market, right? This is what they want, and we're seeing step by step that they're getting in this direction, and what they are telling you is just right now. I just had to laugh when I read the article. I have to be honest. I just started laughing because, I mean, it is sad and it is infuriating, but at this point, I maybe it's clown world getting the best of me. I don't know. I just laughed out loud, to be honest. So that is just what I wanted to tell you. So Angela Merkel is getting now nurses from Brazil and India and Vietnam. That is at least her great plan, in order to save the German economy that she just is about to destroy. All right. So maybe I will not upload, or I think I will not upload in this week. I will make a short video in which I explain why. And please join me on Telegram and BitChute, links in the description below. Share this video with everyone you think might have an interest in these topics. And yeah, stay safe wherever you are. Enjoy the Christmas time, hopefully with your family. Enjoy the rest of the year. Servus, Kameraden.